program.
Welcome to the Daily Convo with your host, Big Body, Road Body, and your boy, Wanted T. This is a weekly podcast with just two dudes being bros. Just a couple bros being guys. If you haven't figured it out by now, just a couple guys being dudes. So let go. Not bad. Not bad. We've done a lot of bad things, but that ain't one of them. that ain't one.
I started thinking about the ID that I was holding up, and I just want to sort of let everybody know that was my first Bang Bros. I'm 18 years old ID.
Love it.
Welcome, everyone, to the Daily Convo, a weekly podcast where I don't have time for any of your bullshit, but you do for ours. With me today, well, first off, who gives a shit about them? I am your host, Nabil Rabadi, and with me today, really a tertiary co-host, Jess Lerner, who has the wettest hair in the industry. She just got She just left the ocean, fresh off that bitch.
Fresh out of it.
Welcome.
Real fresh, everybody. Salt water in my hair, wind blowing. I just got off the beach. Let's go.
Fucking awesome, Jess.
I am awesome. Thank you so much.
And a man who stole a shirt from the ocean with me today is Juan Thomas. Tell us, what's it like to smell like cheap cologne?
Bro, it's like the best. Like, here's a great thing with cheap cologne. It's cheap. You can buy it at any Ross or Marshall's.
TJ Maxx.
Or you can even get it at the little samples that come in your mailbox, and you just rub that shit all over you, and it costs you nothing. Balling on a budget. That's
balling on a budget. I love that.
Question of the week. Are you ready?
I was born
ready, man.
Why won't you give me my underwear back?
Why should I? You listen. Finders keepers is a legitimate law.
That's what I've ever heard.
It's legitimate law. That's all I'm saying. I found it. You lost it. Fine. Keep track of your underwear.
I think there's something to be said for friends who wear each other's underwear, you know?
Thank you, Jess. Yeah. Let's normalize that.
Yeah, I agree. As long as it's clean, it's not hurting anybody.
No. We're not progressing past this.
Yeah, we are.
A thing with you and your friends?
As me? Yes. Are you asking me that question?
Yes, okay. That's specifically.
It hasn't been a thing. No, but I would try it. I would support it. You know, I'm not huge. It's not like a fetish of mine to wear my friend's underwear, but you never know. I mean,
don't support that. That's weird.
Yeah. You brought it up.
You did.
Brought it up.
No, you literally said it, and I took a step back and was like, "Hold on, weirdo. Let's explore this." And make sure you don't do that to anyone. Would you ever wear someone else's deodorant?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. Would you?
Because here's the thing, right? I'd rather wear somebody's deodorant than to like not have deodorant on at all. If I'm somewhere and I forgot, and they're like, "Yo, let me cop some deodorant." I'm about it.
I just did that literally yesterday. There was a last resort, and I was like, "Hey, friend, give me some of that deodorant." Easy peasy. Done. Sharing is caring, baby.
Put some of that stank on them all, baby.
I don't want to smell, you know. People don't need this stench.
What's everyone drinking tonight?
I should be drinking water because Lord knows my liver needs it. Sadly enough, I am drinking whiskey because I believe in show integrity. And I have not done this episode yet without drinking. So tonight, I'm on this special reserve. Can't see that. I'm going to back it up a little bit. Special reserved Jack Danielle.
Who is that again?
Jack Danielle, if you will.
He's French.
It's French. It's a French thing. It's a French thing. You wouldn't understand. You weren't on the island.
French island.
The San Juan French island.
That's not a thing. I'm enjoying a festive Canada Dry cranberry ginger ale.
That sounds
always.
disgusting.
Okay.
What are you, 80 years old? My grandfather drinks that stuff.
Well, your grandfather has some fucking taste and you don't.
Old
All right?
man.
Let's start there.
Old man.
Attack me again.
Oh,
You're lucky
Uh,
over there.
Ain't shit.
Anyway, Juan, this is your time to do your stupid thing. Where everybody's like, "Oh, that's so cool."
I don't know why you think it's stupid. Just because you walk around life with a plain, ordinary tumbler, drinking out of cans because you're not classy enough to hit up the greatest creator of custom tumblers the world's ever seen in Carl Custom Creations. That's customs with a K. Don't take that aggression out on me. Don't listen, listeners. Don't be like Nabil Rabadi and be lame drinking, because it's literally on the show. Your literally first and last name is on display.
It really says my name with first and last name.
Well, I'm different because I am built different, because I have a cup from Carl's Custom Creations that's customized to my specialties. Ladies and gentlemen, if you got friends or family that are about to get married and thinking of that perfect gift to give your groomsmen or bridesmaids, Carl's Custom Creations. And if you literally give a shout out to the Daily Convo, when you place your order, you will get, count it down, 10% off of your order. So worth it.
Yeah.
Cups are fire. And soon you will get to see his work that he's doing for us on the show. Each one of us have our own special cup. And on our Friends episode, our 10th Friendsode, 10th anniversary, 10th episode of Friendom.
Gather yourself. You got it.
You got it. You're there. We're going to raffle off one of these fantastic cups. And you can see now in the chat, Carl Custom Creation have set a link to all of the places you can find them.
And you will be an appreciated fan.
You will be an appreciated fan with this
very appreciated,
very unique, one-of-a-kind Friends episode of the Daily Convo. Tell your friends. Bring them. I'm
excited.
Well, let's before we get into the show.
Okay.
What did you two dorks do this weekend, you nerds? Go on, tell me about your weekend.
Not a lot. Just kind of sat around the house.
Okay. Wow. I would have figured you guys might have had something exciting, but I mean,
no.
Cool. Okay.
I think we road tripped. We did do a little road trip during the day. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, tiny, very small road trip. Yeah.
Yeah, small road trip to this little town right outside Austin called San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Fun trip. It's not a road trip at all. I feel like you have to take a plane for that one.
Yeah, but I mean,
it was a quick road trip plane, though. You know.
Yeah.
Road trip plane.
Yep.
It's a thing. Look it up.
Yeah. I mean, it lands on a road. We did some riding on it, so
it's like tailspin, but it's
like a plane.
It's just like a plane.
Just like so.
And honestly, I think even our good friend Juan might have rode first class on the way there. Did we do that?
I might have. Yes.
Are you a first class man?
Yeah.
Well, it was $104 upgrade the day before the day I checked in.
Total? How much does it take total? If it was $140 upgrade.
I mean, I use points, so it really costs me
nothing.
First off, you gotta look at total cost of
$140. You know about all that, player. You
keep that in the wraps.
Nah, fuck that. You want to talk about how much the upgrade is? Why don't you tell us what you spent total? Because you spent first class money. Don't act like you got to win on it.
Ooh. Bougie, pinky up, baby. Pinky up.
So what'd you do with your lame ass weekend? Because I mean, me and Jess was out here snorkeling with sea turtles, eating some mofongo. You know what I'm saying? Eating some queso having a ball.
Do not champion snorkeling when a week prior you were sitting there crying and bitching about it. Like, oh, I don't do that. I'm too scared of the water and I don't want to fish to bite me.
Well, I can tell you right now, he was in it to win it. He was in that water, snorkeling around.
Yes.
Thank you.
Stop mothering him. You got to let him be.
Well, you know what? You weren't there, Nabil.
You got to let him go. You got to let him go. You got to let him go. You got to let him be
there.
He's the number one snorkeler out there. Number one.
God damn it. You're so you're soccer mom material right now.
That is me.
Oh my God. If I ever need the manager, I'm getting Jess.
Absolutely. I'm the number one hype woman. You know what I mean? That's me.
Love that. Just the dub.
Well, Nabil, what did you do this weekend while we were having the time of our lives with sea turtles?
Tell us about your lame ass weekend.
I had an extended weekend where I had a vacation break, but I actually worked the entire time.
So you didn't have a vacation then? So you didn't break?
But
so you just said all of that meant nothing?
Yeah, well, what I'm saying is I'm a hard worker. I try to earn my money. And
seems like you actually just worked a regular day.
Yeah.
Because you didn't take a time off, so you just worked.
I did take the time off.
Oh, what day did you take off? Was it Friday?
I took off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I worked Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
So then you didn't?
I didn't.
Huh. So you're just making shit up.
What are you trying to catch me?
I'm just saying, it sounds like you're just making up shit. Like you went to work last week.
Off
in the weekend.
I took off, but I ended up working that time.
And you didn't take off.
I did take off. It was submitted. It was PTO.
He's a hard worker.
So actually, I would reclassify this as a dumb worker. So you worked for free because you burnt PTO time to still work.
See, the wonderful thing about SADA is, unlike other dumbass companies, is that we get unlimited PTO. So I don't work for free. I still get paid.
So then you didn't take off.
I did take off. It was in there for me to take off.
It sounds like you didn't take off.
Yeah,
I took off. I submitted to take off, but I still work.
So SADA God says you were actually behind on your work.
I'm always behind on my work, just like
so that's why you
got over there at Talo.
So that's why you put in for time off, but then you didn't take time off and you actually just worked a regular 3 days of work. Anyway, I got my friend Alwyn. There it is.
No. You didn't win anything. We're going in circles. We have a whole show. And I'm hoping for the first time ever, we could probably end this in like 45 minutes. So guys, you got 14 minutes and counting. Okay. So I had a great weekend hanging out with Alwyn. We went on quite a bit of adventures. We went to a hookah bar. I actually brought him out to a happy hour with the peeps at SADA. They all thought he was like the new engineer there, and he was like, "No, I'm just a black guy." And all of which was true. They won.
All accurate.
I liked him a lot. We actually had like kind of Alan and I had a couples weekend. In fact, Ashley was gone. We went to a hookah bar on Friday night. Had a real nice conversation that night. Then the next morning, we walked to the lake where he proceeded to tell me to buy a house for the next hour. It was great.
Yeah, considering he just did that.
Went to Barton Springs, celebrated my mom's birthday. Happy birthday,
Happy birthday, Mom.
Happy birthday, Mama.
And it was, you don't get to say that to her, one.
I do.
And then it's a good weekend all around.
That's awesome.
Amazing. Doesn't sound as good as ours. I gotta be honest.
At all.
It's not. It's not. I mean, yours just sounds really stupid. I could,
I mean, hanging out with Al is pretty fun. Your mom's birthday, I'm sure, is pretty fun, but it's not snorkeling with sea turtles. You know what I mean? It's not that.
Going to live my life like I'm in the real world in fucking Puerto Rico with you guys. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, yeah.
It sucks to suck.
I'm a little bit jealous. I have a little bit of bitterness in my voice.
As you should.
I should have went, but in fact, I would have just worked. So, go on.
Yeah, lame ass. So, I feel like, before we kind of segue into the show, I want to add this new wrinkle into the show, guys. I feel like we all watch things and listen to things, podcast or whatnot. I feel like we should use this opportunity to shamelessly plug a show and or thing that we watch that we like and want other people to watch, that we will at some point text 1,000 people and tell them to watch. It's on the bill. What are you watching nowadays? What's really grabbed your shit? I want
you to start first because I wasn't prepared for this.
I know you weren't. So for me, very recent addiction that I can't stop watching every freaking second of my life.
Here's what I'm going to talk about. Dexter, the new season. On Showtime. Super excited.
I'm excited about that.
I still have not.
Fantastic.
I never watched Dexter.
Wow.
And a little bit of the Kyle Rittenhouse stuff, which is chaos.
That's pure chaos.
But no, nothing really that's like taken my attention.
Dear White People.
Oh yeah.
Show on Netflix.
Dear White People
is great.
Yeah.
It is Dear White People. If you ever had questions, about all things race related, it's a great show. It's comedy, it's funny, serious, some drama,
educational,
very educational, very humorous, very up to date and modern. Highly recommend it. There was a movie and they based the series off of it. It's only 4 seasons because they're following these kids in college from their freshman year on to their senior year, and you kind of see the character development. And then like the last season takes place like when COVID hit, so it's kind of cool. Yeah, that's my current addiction.
I'm gonna check it out on Netflix. Dear white people.
Dear white people. What about you, Jess? What are you burning the midnight oil watching?
I'm a big TV gal. I'm not always proud of what I watch, though. To be honest,
Guilty pleasures is what it's all about. You know?
Sometimes it's shameful. I will say, call out to my friend Nate. He is currently on the season of The Bachelorette.
Whoop, whoop.
So I have been watching that and watching him. And it's been pretty freaking fun to watch him on there. He lives in Austin.
That's dope.
Yeah, pretty cool. On every Tuesday. So if you're ever looking for something to watch, you can go watch him. Very handsome dude, very nice. We don't know if he's single yet, so I can't promote him to the ladies, you know. But we don't know that much yet. But I also have been watching, and this is not something I'm proud of, but I'm going to say it because you never know who's listening. It's called Legacies. It is a spin-off of Vampire Diaries and the originals. As we all know, Jess loves her Vampire Diaries. So this show is definitely a teeny bopper type show, but they do curse. So it makes you feel a little bit better about watching it. Like sometimes they'll say like, oh shit, you know what I mean? And you're kind of like, yeah, I can relate. You know what? You haven't given it a chance, because if you did, you'd probably say the same thing, but at least you tried. You know what I mean?
Chat, what are you watching, Chat? Go on, Jess.
I have seen today, and I think it just happened today because I didn't see it yesterday. For those who give a shit, the new season of Tiger King dropped on Netflix.
What? When?
Yeah, today apparently, because I shopped this morning to check on.
I'm done. I'm out.
Did you read the stuff though about Carol Baskin's like not being in it?
Listen, I'm gonna stop it right now. I ain't watched none of that shit. I'm passionately never going to watch it.
But he listens to the Island Boys song.
I don't even listen to the Island Boys.
Fun.
No.
How many times? How many times did I sing that song, Juan?
Oh, a lot. And I almost ended our friendship over it. So
you'll never escape it. Especially when you started calling yourself Island One.
I was Island One. I was Island One because Island One has he doesn't give a shit about anything.
At the sun while playing with guns.
I was oh no, my cat has been making so much noise. Can you hear him?
Yo, punch that cat in the face.
Have you tried to open the door and just tell them it's free? Yeah. Did you also tell your cat about all the other cats that are living their best life in San Juan?
Oh my god! I feel like I should be one of the situations like your parents tells you, like finish your dinner because there's children starving out there.
Exactly, there's starving cats in San Juan.
Yeah, finish eating your cat. There's plenty of cats out there. I don't know how that works at all.
Not really where I was going with that, but I was this close to bringing home a couple cats there. I was this close. There was this one cat that we went to visit. In the park downtown Old San Juan a few different times. I saw the same cat and I was like, what if I just like steal this cat? I mean, he doesn't belong to anybody.
You'd never be able to make it back.
Did everyone there talk like Razor Ramon?
I don't think she gets that reference.
Okay, well you do.
I have no idea who that is.
Yes, actually everyone talks like Razor Ramon.
Hey, everyone want this cab man? You want this cab man? Is that what you want? Because I'm gonna give you this cab man.
I've never.
And Big Poppy, Big Poppy and Razor Ramon.
Poppy.
Poppy.
That, yeah.
It was great.
Hey, what up, Alwyn? What up, fucking dude?
You guys had a nice birthday.
Friends with benefits?
I love it.
Your new boyfriend, Alwyn.
Yeah, I mean, like, you replaced Juan. You know what, Nabil? Maybe now you can share boxes with Al. Ooh. Enticing.
Because you ain't getting in these boxes. You can hang that up.
Oh,
you having great weekends with Al.
I've been getting
Weekends with Al. That honestly sounds like a really good show. Weekends with Al.
Weekends with Al.
The best part about hanging out with Alwyn this weekend is that he did not want to explain his fucking name to everyone I work with. So he just kept calling himself Al the entire time. And even then, they kept mistaking his name. Al. Okay, got it.
Al. Oh, so my bad. My apologies.
Somebody's name is Ad, like an advertisement.
Alb.
What is
Albin?
Albin.
Somebody he said Al. He said Al to someone very clearly, and they still didn't It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Well,
Anyway,
that's like people who like you have your name in your signature, like spelled out. Like for work, I have my name. It clearly says Jessica Lerner. Like it says in very bold letters, mind
It's
you, Jessica
in
Lerner.
there.
I still have people almost once a week that call me. They're like, "Hey, Jennifer, does that look like my freaking name? That's Jessica right there." It's like, are you dumb? You know, and obviously you're dumb. I'm not gonna answer that.
Clearly.
But like, it's like, and then I want to respond and be like a bitch and be like, "Thanks, so and so. Actually, my name is Jess, as stated in my signature right below."
Clearly, it's that. Like,
thank
Attach, maybe
you.
I'd attach a a document that says name is Jess. You know,
Thank you, Jasmine Lobner.
I actually
John
like the name
Service.
Jess better than Jess.
I love that.
Yeah.
So, all right. Today's episode.
Yeah.
We're like, let's do it. Just bringing it together.
You gotta bring it together.
Gotta-
You can't have episode 1 over here, part 2 over here. You gotta bring it together.
Gotta bring it to a
Yeah.
third part. We're merging.
Saga. That's a cool
Today's episode is about friendship and dating and how you manage both of them. That's a thing that I don't actually care about. And I'm out of here. So good luck, guys.
See you later.
Just let you run this.
You got the questions. You're good.
You got it. Yeah.
So do we want to do a quick recap?
Yeah. So I mean,
There on episode 2. We rambled on episode 2 quite a bit. Sorry about that.
I'm sad I missed that one. That was
it was
fun.
our longest episode, and so
It was,
we
because-
realized when you're not here, we don't care about timing.
No
And it
cap.
was-
There's no cap.
Zero.
Yeah, I'm here to remind you guys, like, all right, we're rambling on. Let's clean it up, everybody.
Mom wasn't
I
here
gotta
to
go
keep
to
us
sleep,
alive.
man.
So for the
Let's do
recap
it.
of things here, ladies and gentlemen, for those who were not following us on our escapade through these 3-part series, the first one was on friendships and how important friendships are, how you value friendships, what that means, what that looks like, and we kind of walk through that whole journey. Part 2 was on relationships, right? And you know what it means for you when you're in one. What does it look like? How you take those steps to initiate a relationship, the time and effort you put into it, all that fantasticness. And it leads us now into the conclusion of the series on, much like Bill mentioned, is balancing this out, right? Like, how do we take these two facets of what makes us who we are, our friendships, and then now this new love relationship you have in your life, and not lose either one, try to grow either one? How do you feel when you have a friend that goes off and starts a relationship? Like, all of these things we'll talk about through this episode. When Bill just literally laughs through the whole thing. It's almost like he's not a professional on a show.
He's an underwear stealer.
Underwear stealing,
Yeah.
boy child who just cannot keep his shit together because he is currently putting stats of the Lakers game on instead of focusing
I saw that.
on the task at hand because he is a child. Take it away, Nabil. Mike's yours. We'll wait.
Yeah.
On the Lakers game or relationships.
Whatever your child mind leads you to. You know,
I prefer
whatever.
not to talk about the Lakers game if we're being transparent.
Same.
Cool.
God damn it. This is why we can't have nice things, you know?
What do you mean? Guys, be professional. All right. Question number 1. All right. How important does your friendship become when you start a relationship with someone? Juan, shut your mouth, Jess, go.
Wow.
I would say pretty important.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I think the value of that, like mixing, just as a general, to cover the topic in general, mixing friendships and relationships are a toughie.
Yeah.
The balance is hard. The importance is crucial, right? I feel like to mix your friends have to like your partner. That is a no-brainer. If they do not, it is trouble. It is always going to be a problem to spend time with them. It's always going to be an issue. They're always going to say like, oh, you picked so-and-so over me. you know, and it comes from like not really liking them, because that shouldn't be an issue. You know what I mean? So important, right?
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
answer.
I'll piggyback off that with the same. I think when you start a relationship, like if your friends are a part of your life, like they're going to play a role in it, because as much as you love the person you're with, in the back of your mind, you really hope your friends like this person also, because when you hit that wall where they don't, it becomes really difficult then, because now your life changes. Your life's already changing dramatically because you're in a friendship or you're in a relationship. Now, if your core doesn't like them, they don't want to fucking be around them, and now you're like, oh fuck, you know. So it to me, it's very important when you in a relationship to have my friends involved some type of way, you know.
I didn't realize how difficult the balance would be.
So hard.
Because I just thought, oh, like, this is my girlfriend. Like, everybody's going to be cool with my girlfriend because they're cool with me. Oddly enough, it doesn't work that way, I guess. And that is like, that was, it's surprising. And it's one of those things where I'm still not sure how you like properly engage in something like that. Like, hey, I'm dating someone. You cool with that? Like, it's a weird, you know.
I don't think you asked for permission. I think
it almost feels like it. Like the second go round.
I think it boils down, and I've had this conversation with a few people, right? Like when you yourself kind of figure your life out enough to where like you value certain aspects in friends, right? So like you go back to our first episode and we talked about what makes a friend, what we value, what it takes to actually be that inner core of a person that you value their opinion and actually listen to them, right? When you get to that point, and I feel like when I look back to relationships that didn't work, your core almost become that outside perspective of if this relationship is really something that's going to go the distance, in my opinion. Because I feel like if my core, who I associate with because you meet these certain criteria in life, like we're the same like-mindedness, you're about this bettering yourself, like you're not a shitty core person. If I bring whoever I'm dating around this group and you can't click with this group, or the group doesn't really like this person, the chances are it's not going to work. And when I think back to like relationships that didn't pan out, that's kind of the tell, was like the group really didn't mesh with this person. It didn't really work out. And then down the road, you find your clash now with this person, and really your core people were real. Like they told you this, you just were so caught in your shit that you didn't want to hear it.
I guess the question I have is like, when are you supposed to like, oh shit, you guys are right, let me end this relationship? Like, how does that action even take place? Like, what's the right action for that?
I don't.
Yeah, I'll let you take that.
Well, first, I mean, that's obviously not up to I like your opinion on that one. Like, I feel like, and that's something I've never thought about. If you're friends, if you're bringing someone around and they interact with your friends or the people that you value, you know, their opinions the most, right? Mm-hmm. Makes sense if they're not clicking and you click with them, that down the line, you're probably not going to click with your partner anymore, right?
Yeah.
So to answer your question, Abiel, obviously your friends aren't making that decision for you. You're making it for yourself. I feel like there's like an innate feeling within you, like, hey, this is probably not the right person for me. You know, I think you kind of, there's a point in your life where you just like add up all the dots and connect them, you know, and you're kind of like, okay, this is no longer making any sense. What am I holding on to? And I think that's the point where you come to where you're like, all right, this isn't working. But a part of that is the friendships, right? Is that person connecting with your group of people. You know, that's incredibly important.
And I think to your point, right? Yeah, just you're not gonna listen to your friends and go, hey, honey, my friends don't like you. This shit's over. Like I'm walking out. It's not gonna work. But where at least myself, that I'm taking from my past experiences and want to use it moving forward in some form of a constructive way is if it doesn't merge with the click, I'm gonna basically reevaluate the situation and start looking for what is it that they don't like.
Right.
Is it maybe my partner's just nervous around them, and she's not her true self. Am I seeing the true self in my partner when she's around them? Yeah.
Right.
These little things is what like you'd have to check. And if you see like, all right, well, she's being her true self, like all of these things you're saying, and the group's still not liking it, I'm more like attentive to what potentially could be a big red flag here, because I feel like at some point I can't be naive to the fact there has to be something. Because if these people I have in my life, these core group that I come to when shit hits the fan, that I care about and all this stuff, if they see a red flag, I feel like I got to be blinded by something.
Yeah, there probably is one.
There's got to be something. And love, you know, like we talked about, makes us do really stupid shit sometimes. And has you overlook obvious things. So I think I will use that more as this is a sign for me to dig a little deeper into this person. Or in rare cases, maybe you reevaluate the friends, right? Like if you think they're close than what they were, something here isn't going to last.
Or maybe there's sometimes also friends like have ulterior motives, like not in a bad way, but hey, like my time with you is being cut in half. I have a negative feeling towards your partner now because I resent them, you know, and they're taking your time and I'm jealous. There are so many things, you know, intricate things that go into that. But I also will say that I've been in a situation, my previous relationship where, you know, we shared a group of friends, right? And it was more so no one disliked either partner. They disliked us together. You know what I mean? And that's also another perspective of it too, right? Your friends necessarily don't have to hate that person or dislike that person. They might just say, hey, I don't think this person is for you. You know what I mean? So there's so many different sides to that, right? Maybe they click with this person, but then they're like, I don't think that you guys click, you know? So
100%.
What do you think, Nabil? What's your take on it?
I always found myself in the situation, or one major one was one of my exes was always like shy around my friends. And so it was one side not trying and the other side not knowing how to try. And we'll get to it in one of the later questions, but it was one of those where it kind of ended one of my friendships. But I mean, the truth is, it would be my friends telling me, hey, listen, like we're trying. And then I would go to my girlfriend at the time and I'd say, hey, listen, what's going on? Well, why are you not like talking to them or whatever? And it would just spawn into this like weird, strong argument where someone was just crying and it's like, I don't understand what's happening.
That's a strange situation.
It was a pretty strange one. And even today, it's one of those things where I guess it's social anxiety, but I couldn't really pinpoint why the effort wasn't ever there.
And I feel like, you know, with that, I have a couple friends who have, you know, anxiety, some social, some just anxiety as a general whole, right? I feel like as a partner, it's your job to, in those situations, like defend them. I'm not saying you didn't do that. I'm sure you did. Right. But it's like, hey, listen, my partner is a little bit nervous around y'all, or, you know, has some reservations about being totally open with you. You know what I mean? And you kind of have to give them a little bit of space and time to be able to feel comfortable. Doesn't mean they don't like you. Doesn't mean they don't, you know, want to vibe with you eventually. You know, but it's difficult too, because especially, you know, knowing you know, I would say that you're pretty extroverted. You know, you like to have a conversation, you like to meet people, right? And I think that's tough to have a partner who doesn't align with that.
Yeah.
You know, and that goes into a deeper issue, right? Of, you know, maybe we're just not cut from the same cloth, and that kind of causes problems because your friends are. And that goes into what Juan was saying, right? Is your friends are similar, you're similar, and your partner's not. You know, what's the odd man out? You know, who is that? Yeah. So it's difficult, creates a lot of issues. Nobody's fault.
It became pretty strenuous, but you're totally right. Both of you are.
Yeah.
So then the next question leads to me saying, all right, it's now the opposite. Like, how do you feel when your best friend is in a relationship? I mean, what are your thoughts and fears? Like, what do those things look like for you? Are there any thoughts and fears? Like, or I'm sorry, are there any fears or jealousy or whatever?
I mean, I'll say it because I mean, I think it comes down to the makeup of the individual person. For like myself being, an only child, my friends are my family. My friends are, they're my everything.
Yeah.
When my friends usually get into a relationship, there is I don't know so much of if it is jealousy or the fear of losing that friend. That's the part that always hits, that from years, I know I just have this in the back of my head, like, well, it's coming.
Yeah.
At some point, this isn't going to be what it used to be anymore.
Change.
Exactly. Tomorrow's going to hit, and tomorrow's going to be different than today. And when that happens, like, fuck, I just lost a good friend over it. And it's not it's just life, like it's nothing that you can really do about it. I'm not going to sit here and go to my friends and be like, break up with them, fuck them. Yeah. But like, the reality of the situation is, my world becomes affected by the relationship, right? Like, we had friends in the friend group, right? That when that happens, the whole dynamic changes, right? Breakups within the friend group, the whole dynamic changes, right? The whole foundation of which brought comfort into my life no longer stands.
Yeah, it's not the same. Looks different.
Not the same, right? I mean, there's people in the chat here, right? You get in a relationship, you move off, you do shit, and like that's the thing for me that, like, yeah, I know the love and the caring is still there. None of these people I'm not friends with now because of it, but things aren't what they were.
Yeah.
And that's the shit you miss,
That's life though, right? It's ever changing. Yeah. Nothing is going to be the same. And that's why, so cliche, but you appreciate what you have, in those moments you're enjoying yourself, right? Because, we just went on this vacation, right, to Puerto Rico. And it's like, I think someone said it, this could be I think it was Elena, this is like the last chance that we have. This might be the last opportunity or vacation we have where this is going to be exactly the way it is.
Yeah. It's funny you say that, because I had that conversation, honestly, with Mary when we were in Padre.
Yeah.
We were sitting out on the patio, and, I was like, if I can tell you anything to hold with you for the rest of your life, look, consider life like a chapter in a book.
Yeah.
No chapter is repeated.
Yeah.
When you're in it, appreciate it before the page turns.
Yeah.
Because tomorrow, this shit might not be this great. Somebody could be gone.
And look how different it is, right?
Exactly. From 1 year removed. 1 year removed.
Right.
Completely different.
Entirely different.
Entirely different.
And it's not like the friendships are the same,
Yeah.
But I think when I know for me, one of my really close friends has been on and off with her ex for quite some time, and they're done now. But I remember when they first got into a relationship, and I was actually single at the time. Mm-hmm. It was tough. That person is like your partner in crime. You are their relationship almost. And that's what we've always said about each other is you're like my boyfriend, you're my girlfriend, you're my partner. You know what I mean? And that's, we've always been inseparable like that. So when she got into a relationship with her partner, it was difficult for me to swallow. And it's not that I don't want her to be happy. It's more that I'm worried that our time together is going to look different. It's going to be, I'm going to get less of her, which is exactly what happened. And that's the normal transition of life.
Yeah.
And it's something that, when it comes your turn, you hope and you hope and pray that your friends accept that as well, because it is difficult, but you cherish the moments that you have with them more so. Nights that you used to have all the time, when you have one of those every month or every couple months, you're like, this is incredible.
Yeah.
It doesn't change like you said, it doesn't change the feeling. It doesn't change necessarily the relationship. It just changes the dynamic and what that looks like a little bit.
Yeah. 100%.
Maybe I'm like a little weird on this one. I don't think jealousy ever passes my mind, or like shit, this is going to change forever kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I end up being in a position of more like, that's exciting news. Like,
that's how it should be.
I'm more hopeful about things than I am not. Like, I'm like, oh man, that's dope shit. And so, but on my end, like, I didn't really realize this until like I'd broken up with one of my exes, that it was like, apparently that sounds really like not taking responsibility. Sorry. I was told that like I was a different person, whether it's a scarcity of me or it's just like I just wasn't ever acting like myself or whatever, right? Because maybe I just catered to my girlfriend too much, or I catered instead of catering to my friends or the group. So for me, it's a okay, I need to make a more conscious effort the next time, where it's like for my friends, I gotta be more of a cushiony bed than just kind of a hard phone. Like, all right, we'll deal with it. Cool. I'll see you guys. I'm gonna go get laid.
Because I think with that, it's like that's where you lose a friend.
Yes.
Right. Like when you get to that point where you become so enamored into this relationship that you forgot that you have other relationships.
Right. Friendships take work.
Friendships also take almost as equal work as a regular relationship. That, you know, I've cut people out of my life for that same thing, right? Like, I get you have this relationship now. That's cool, but like, the fuck, do I just not matter now? Like
you're not making any time.
Exactly. I'm asking you. Yeah, like I'm asking you to do shit, and you're like, I can't. I gotta do it. I was like, all right, that's cool. I'm gonna ask you a couple more times, and then by the third time, like, I'm gonna stop fuking asking you because apparently
you got like 19 or 23 more times.
These 34 times, and then I draw the fuck.
You'll get about 47 more times, and then I'm gonna be pushing it.
It's a wrap.
Okay,
it's a wrap.
Shit. No, man. Yeah, it's one of those things where I can't say I ever thought about any of that stuff because I just think
that's the way.
Like, oh, there's another person to our family. Like that's just kind of
that's the way it should be. And I think that goes into, you know, more so when you meet them, you're like, this is, you know, you vibe with them, then you're excited, right? You're like, this could be a person that I could spend time with, like me, my friend, and this person. You know, and that forms a different kind of friendship, which is also changes the dynamic, but it's a great thing. And I think that's the way that you should look at it. But I think some of us who have, and I don't know if you know, I mean, you haven't experienced this, but have lost friends because of it. It scares the shit out of us, right? Because it's like things could totally change and this person could just like disappear. You know, which is, I had a friend who lived in Texas. We were friends for like a couple years. She got a boyfriend, and within like 3 months, she was just like gone. We talked every day for like 2 years, and then like she was literally just gone. And you text here and there, and you're like, "Hey, I miss you. What's up?" They're like empty conversations with no promise of like really spending time together, and then they just kind of fade. You know, so I think that's like where the negativity comes from. But if you're a good friend and you're really friends, you can uphold both relationships. It's exhausting, but it's doable.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, it just takes a lot of work. That's the reality of the situation. It takes a lot of work on both parties. The friend who loses a friend to a relationship, to the person who's in a relationship still trying to balance your friends. It's exhausting, but it's
make it work.
If you give a shit, you'll put in the work, you know.
So it brings me to my next point, that it's 93-99. The Lakers are down against the Bucks.
You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch.
Which again segues to our point about friends.
Yeah.
When is the right time to introduce your friends to your partner, or specifically, when is the right time to introduce your partners to Adam in the chat?
Well, I mean, listen, I'm not.
That's two different things, right?
Yeah, I'm not ever.
Two different things.
Yeah, I'm not gonna bring him around Adam. I mean,
we're talking about different circles of hell. We're talking about Satan's mouth, and then like the third circle of hell. Like it's
he's the last person.
Mary's comment. Mary,
you ain't no third wheel. Fuck out of here. Bullshit ass comment.
No, honestly, but speaking of, you know, Mary.
The first thing I'm scared to bring any woman around Adam. You know, I look up to him, and I know he's going to tear her apart, and I know she's like she's not good enough. And honestly, most of us are pretty beneath Adam, like just kind of like we're just being on the level. But that's like an insecurity I don't want to talk about. And so
talk about jealousy, right? I mean, that's
jealousy in the air tonight. I can tell.
And I mean, listen here, and I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say it. A lot of people don't know this about Mary. Also,
sorry,
Mary. Also, I mean, listen, I've seen her give some stink eye. You know, that's a hard court to pass a girl through. So I don't.
Listen, she is a tough cookie.
She's a tough one. She's a tough one.
But okay, does Adam also physically abuse you guys because he hits me?
Well, yeah, it like comes with the name.
Okay.
First time I
All
met Adam, he punched me
That's a-
square in the fucking face.
He's always
That's
shaking.
a conversation for another day.
You're
you
right.
know?
He's
Yeah,
always
we
shaking.
don't need to air that out.
You're good.
Yeah,
Okay.
we don't need
But
to do that.
outside of that scumbag Adam, when is the right time to introduce your partner to your friends?
I mean, I might be different in this. I live in the camp of the earlier the better.
I know, I agree with you completely.
I do not.
Yeah, I need because I need. It goes to the friendship, right? Like because my friends mean the world, right? Like I need to know, does this work with this person I give a shit about?
Yeah.
Is this dance gonna work out? Because if I bring you in right off the bat and like she's stuck, I mean, I've had this happen before. I've definitely been interested in somebody, bring them around a friend group, and they don't like the friend group. A month later, me and her ain't work. Not because she didn't like the friend group, but there was clearly underlying shit that like eventually surfaced because it was for this person. They were almost jealous of the amount of time I was spending with my friends, or not jealous of how much time, but jealous of how close I was with my friends. She also didn't appreciate there were so many like females in the friend group. Like these little things is what like
because I am dealing with that next time. They're gonna be these women's
all the women's but but now for it literally became an issue in the sense of I'm glad I introduced her early on to realize that although she told me she's not a jealous person, in reality she was. She didn't like.
I get scared when a girl says that.
Fair.
Because it's almost like you're bringing that up and you're saying like, oh, I'm a jealous person. Like I'm totally cool.
Hey, Jess, let me ask you a question. Are you a jealous person?
Yes.
Oh, fuck. I was hoping you'd say no.
No, absolutely I am. Absolutely I am.
I think the honest to God, everyone is jealous of something.
Exactly. I'm not going to deny it. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to be straight up with you so you know what you're getting. Like, hey, you know, if it comes up, obviously I'm not just gonna walk up and be like, hey, new partner, guess what? I'm a jealous bitch. Watch out. Absolutely not.
But here's the thing. I think how to navigate that depends heavily on the partner's maturity level, right? Yes, so when I'm in a relationship with somebody or I'm talking to somebody, before this thing actually progresses and happens, I'm letting them know, like, listen, I am really close to my friends and I have a lot of female friends. I'm telling you now, I've never slept with any of them, made out with any of them, have no desire to.
Go on.
Except for Nabil. But I was like, I want you to know this. So if there is an issue, like you can talk to me about this.
Yeah.
But what's not going to happen is I'm not going to see these people.
Right. Because you don't want me to.
Exactly. Like if that's your stance, I can tell you now, this shit ain't going to work.
Well, I think in that scenario too, you know, that kind of jealousy is different. Like my partner now has a lot of female friends. One of his best friends is a girl. He spends a lot of time with her. Even in my previous relationship, you know, my ex and Mary were very, very close. Never once did that ever bother me. You know what I mean? It's not like that. That's a different kind of jealousy that comes from insecurity. You know what I mean?
Insecurity and being burned.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that, you know, that's a different topic. A lot of people out there who, you know, are insecure with that dynamic, right? And it makes sense. You know, for me, I think, you know, I'd be like more concerned if my partner, like, you know, met somebody at work randomly, that they weren't close and now all of a sudden they are. You know, that's always like a little bit of concern. Like some girl walks up to my partner at the bar and she's like hitting on him, like, you bet your ass I'm gonna walk right in there and be like.
There's also like a language, right? There's a language and a gesture and an emotion, right? Like. You know, Mary and all of you girls, right? Like if I see you, we'll hug or whatever, and we have a thing. But like, there's a difference if this girl is like hanging all over your guy the whole night, right? Like, okay, well, y'all are friends, but now this is getting a hair disrespectful,
right? Yes,
like there has to be respect from a friend side to understand that, like boundaries, exactly. Like you can't purposely come in here doing things that you know they're cool when I wasn't in a relationship, but now that she's here, like you just can't be like, oh, sitting in my lap and shit while we're sitting at a bar, you know, like shit like that.
I agree. And then it was probably totally pure regardless, but there are boundaries to it. Yeah.
Nabil, what's your what? How do you feel on this, man? Like,
Yeah, man, I'm
because
jealous
you
of
never
that.
want to bring your girl around your friends, which is
Or my family.
well, I mean, your family's different.
So I'm traumatized, right?
I get yes, yours comes from trauma. Like that's a little different situation.
Like, but the other thing is like, I don't like the notion of like bringing someone around just to maybe like they're gone in a few weeks or whatever. I just like to make sure that, hey, this is someone that's going to be part of my life. It's important, blah, blah, blah. So I don't think the earlier the better at all, because like, fuck, I barely know you. Why would I want to bring you around my friends?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it's like, let's take our time with this. It's like,
I see that side of it too.
like let's sleep with each other for a few weeks, and then like figure it out from there.
That sounds nice.
Let's just be in a relationship for like 2 years before you meet anybody, and then
Hey, man, when do I get to be your girl?
Live
Babe,
with
dude,
my
I
partner
just
the
started
whole-
dating her a year ago. Come on,
come
chill
on,
out.
guys, Jesus.
She lives in a dark room with you. You just like kind of feed her food every once in a while. Close the door as quickly as you can so she can get out.
I mean, she's got to know her place.
Sounds like a great relationship to me. That's all I'm saying. I mean, what's wrong with that?
Healthy, baby.
Healthy
The-
AF.
trim spa, baby. But yeah,
it.
no, I don't. I'm too scared to like bring a girl 1 week and then another week it's another girl or whatever the fuck. I mean, clearly.
See,
Yeah,
this
but
is why I
I'm
just use
I'm
the
just
title.
dripping in women, as you can tell. But
Friend,
I
this is
just
my friend.
See, this
I
is
think-
why exactly. That's why I just use the
Yeah.
terminology. This is my friend. I'm bringing around. Yeah,
I think
got
it's
a
so
foam girl
important.
coming out.
I think it's so important.
No, here's why I don't say that, because that leaves room for a dirt bag like Juan to be like, "Oh, shawty, what you doing? How you know Nabil? I know Nabil," and then just tries
Like
to
your friend, you think your
slice
friends are
in.
gonna hit on that girl?
Absolutely.
I think that then you need to get some new fucking friend.
That's what I'm saying. Thank you, Jess.
No more sharing underwear, no more sharing girls. You hear me?
Yeah,
It's
don't be
not.
sharing girls.
If
with
you
me.
if you're bringing out here's the thing, Bill. This is how I know you full of shit. If you bring a girl around and you say, "Yeah, my friend's coming or my homegirl's coming over," I'm gonna ask you the same thing that I ask everybody else every single time before I meet them. Is she single and does she like black dudes? And if you answer any of those properly, then I'm assuming it's fair game. If you're talking to her, you wouldn't answer that question saying, yes, she's single and yes, she likes black dudes. But if you answer, yes, she's single and yes, she likes black dudes, I know someone who also is single and is a black dude. So,
Adam,
You gotta check this. Mary and Adam
Comment.
are popping off in the chat.
why did I? What do you mean? I'm just doing an impression of Juan. I don't even know.
I've seen it
How it
live.
sounds.
That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it too. Like I know that like there are guys you could like bring a girl and then somebody else. I mean, that is literally, I'm sure. It's
Yeah, I
happened-
mean,
it's happened to me.
Nabil and I know
personally.
several guys like that.
Yeah,
You just
but
learn
that's
not
the
to
thing.
bring your girl around.
The truth isn't like.
Sorry, keep going.
Oh no, I was just gonna say like, if there's ever a person that actually knows of literally to the second what's happening in my dating life, it's fucking Juan. So it's like, if there's anybody to get, but he's a real soldier. He never says
Yes.
anything, even when he's in a relationship. Like there was a very serious case where there was this girl that I was seeing, sort of, and it was evident it was a fiery relationship in that way, passionate. And his girlfriend at the time, one said shouting. And one was a soldier. To his girlfriend, never told her the girl that I was with, her name, or showed her Facebook or any of that stuff. So that's a real best friend.
Like, that's your shit. I'm staying out of it.
And
Right. True friendship.
Thanks. Shout it.
so you guys
Yeah.
believe in showing early. I believe in showing late.
Yeah.
Mary, she vets it. Mary's the only person that I respect. So Adam,
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, Mary's a little, let's just be honest. Let's call this what it is. Mary's
Don't
just
talk
a
about Mary.
little
Don't talk about
hypocritical
Mary.
here because she introduced us to Adam real early on.
Real
that's
early.
not true.
All I'm
I
saying
didn't
is
meet
Mary's
Adam.
just
You get
hypocritical.
into it, but
I didn't
like,
meet
you knew
Adam
from
until
day one. You know what I mean?
September.
Because
That's all I'm saying.
I didn't meet Adam until September. And
I think Mary needs to check
so
herself a
way
little
back.
bit.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
The
Mary.
red and black lumberjack and the hat to match.
Yeah.
Mm.
You guys even remember Rabbit Doo? I don't even know.
I don't know.
You want to try that again?
You good? What are you drinking? You know what I mean? Can I ask you?
Thank you for asking me. I am drinking Canada Dry.
Oh, right. The
Man,
gross sandwich shit.
Cranberry
Oh,
ginger ale. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
All right. Next question. Shoot.
All right. Chill out. You fucking
I'll see
mean
you
Easy,
girl. All right.
easy misses 2
All right,
hours
well,
of
hey,
sleep.
get over here. Come
2.5
on. next
hours,
question.
2.5 hours of sleep. All right.
Should have slept on that plane a little longer.
I tried. I really tried.
So, how do you balance the importance of your friends and new relationships that you're in? Which I assume if it's a new relationship, or old relationship, whatever. You know, how do you balance that out?
Yeah.
And just
Well-
tell it for this. Go on.
Great. That sounds like a great
Look at
pick.
that
You
nerd.
look like
What?
a gamer for sure.
All right.
We're gonna do a whole. I feel like we gotta do this. We're gonna do a whole episode, and just thought about it. Slight segue, and then we'll go back to your answer. We're gonna do a whole episode where we pull up old childhood photos of each other, and we just roast each other for the entire episode. We get like we bring people on to just shit talk our kid photos because I got a ton I want to roast my own self with. It's gonna be great. That's a new episode. Y'all heard
There's
I
it.
don't
one
know,
of
I was a
Robbie
cute
where he's
kid,
wearing
like-
a red cowboy, like
The cowboy hat.
red cowboy hat, the vest, the fucking
Bro,
yeah.
no. The photo of the century. I have a red cowboy hat. My mom had these like cow skin cowboy boots that for some reason I'm rocking, standing on top of a cooler with a red towel around my neck, acting like I'm Superman, wearing Superman underwear. It is classic.
Did you say cow skin cowboy boots?
Yeah, like the fur, the actual fur from the cowhide. So not only were they naturally leather, but they were actually like the fur from the cow.
I think
Oh,
All the
you mean
boots.
cowhide?
Cowhide, yeah.
God
I had to get complicated with
now
it.
it's coming
All
together.
right,
Now
all
it's
right,
Yeah.
yes, just take it easy on
I
We're
me.
mean,
getting there. We
listen,
had to come
I
all
was
the way
having a
around.
hard time picturing what we were talking about here. You know what I mean?
I think it all goes without saying that our parents had no idea how to dress us, take photos.
It's great.
Not at all. Not at all.
All right,
My mom was
all right,
stuck.
all right, you fucking
Yeah.
debutante. Why don't you answer the question? How
Listen,
did that sound?
Yeah, exactly. My mom was a killer. I used to wear like these really cute like headbands, poofy dresses. I was
cow fur.
loving it. Like
Cow
little
fur
girl in
jacket?
New York City, like she looked good. I'm like walking down Fifth Avenue, like 3 years old, like hell yeah, bitches, look at me. I look good.
Stunting.
I had
Stunting.
like this like matching outfit. I had matching Tweety Bird jumpsuits. And they're like in the 90s, like they were like jean jumpsuits, like Looney
Right.
Tunes, Tweety Bird, and
I
we.
was
I
an
still have-
Oshkosh Bagosh kid myself. You know what I'm saying?
I wore Kentucky lottery shirts because my parents used to own a gas station because we're
That's fine.
stereotypical.
You could do some cool shit with that now, like acid wash it, you know?
I'm not acid washing anything.
Okay, that's fair.
Not
That's
everything's
fair.
a fucking EDM party at Coachella, Jess. Grow up.
I would like to say there's more than just EDM at Coachella, you know?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Be a little bit more
Oh.
cultured, will you?
My bad.
The uncultured
I
swine.
didn't disrespect
Uncultured
Coachella.
bastard.
Listen, we're cultured. We just got back from San Juan. All right.
Yeah, you're right. We just
Yeah,
Get your shit
exactly.
together. All right.
fucking dab real quickly, kids.
Wow.
Go on, answer the fucking question.
Um,
Repeat the question.
I think, yeah, no, I think I remember it. It's incredibly important. This is a conversation that's just like full circle to invest time in your friends while you have a new relationship. I'm going through it right now. I think we are very, very new, and it's difficult because my previous partner was, as we spoke, very invested in our friend group already. That's how I made almost my friends that I have now, or a lot of them, right, is through that person. So my pre-existing friends, you know, they're very used to seeing me in a relationship with someone they're already friends with. So what are you laughing about? Am I making you laugh right now?
No.
Oh,
Adam's
look at
response.
Adam? Yeah, he's not cultured. I completely agree. Get off the show. You're done.
Until you're out of here.
And you guys are off. It's just the Jess show now. Okay, forget
Wow.
Daily Convo.
Damn.
Jess's Corner. That's what
All
it's
right. Well, she said
for
it.
rebranding. Oh, where did he go?
Well, it was your show.
Very
So I was
But
leaving
the
to-
Bucks did beat the Lakers, unfortunately. So anyway, go on.
I am honestly so sad for you. Hopefully,
Thank
didn't
you.
have a lot of money on it. Yeah, so I think it's incredibly important to make your friends feel wanted is the biggest thing. Like, I still need you in my life. This person isn't giving me everything. Like, you are important. And I think, just even reaching out like on the daily, like I'm a big phone conversation person. So I'll call my friends, like my good friends. I probably talk to them at least once a day, whether it's a text message, whether it's a phone call, just to check in, say, hey, thinking about you. And what are you doing on Friday? Even if you have to make your plans like 6 days in advance, you do something, you make them feel some sort of important. If you have date night with your partner on Wednesday, hang out with them on Friday. It's just about making that little bit of time, a little bit of effort goes a long, long way. And I think when you do that, they're also more welcoming towards your partner because they feel like your partner is giving you the space and the time to be able to make time for them. They're not wanting you all the time. They're, your partner is supporting you and nourishing your friendships as well. So
yeah.
Are you laughing again, Nabil? What in the
Nabil is just
Dude.
a fucking child today. Like,
I hate that.
Oh yeah, every day, Mary. We love our chats.
yeah. So I mean, to your point, just I think the exhausting aspect of being in a relationship and keeping that balance going is keeping the balance going, right?
Yeah.
Like the equal amount of effort you're putting into your relationship, you now have to do the same. Like, you got to find these times and pockets, right? Like, I feel some guys have the slight cheat code that are gamers that, like, even if I'm in a relationship with somebody, like, I'm still going to get online at some point and talk to Nabil or whoever gets on the games, right?
Yeah.
So I have that aspect, but when it comes to like everybody else, like, I'm gonna want to spend, trying to match my now busy schedule up with my friends to do dinners and stuff like that. So it is a challenge to do, but I think it's important to put that sacrifice in because, again, I can't physically do this relationship without having my core still involved in my life some type of way.
Absolutely.
So I need to invest that time in them because I want to, right? Like, the last thing I want when I jump into a relationship is to bring an abrupt halt to my current life and things that bring me joy and bring me happiness. For that, times with my friends, times with my family, right? It is important for me, and I want my partner to be a part of it, which goes to why I introduced my partner early on to my friends, because it then makes finding the balance easier. Because if I can get y'all friends and y'all are cool with hanging with this person, great. Now I can start planning shit and we can all do shit, right? Like that, I think, is the end game for all of it. So I find it's a challenge. There's a lot of work that goes into it, but like, if we can get that clicking happening early on, then this shit becomes a lot easier. Yeah.
Nabil, thoughts?
Yeah, no, I honestly just echo both your sentiments. It's 100% correct.
That's really smart.
It's one of those things where, like, if something happens, right, you're going to still need those people. And if those people don't feel that level of trust, and that becomes an issue. But I think it goes like both ways, of course. And I think your friends, we're bearing a lot of responsibility on ourselves, but your friends also have to be understanding.
I absolutely agree. There's a lot of leniency on your friend's part as well.
Yeah.
They know what it's like to be in a relationship.
And I'll go ahead and just jump into the story. Like, there is a friendship of mine that I just absolutely ended because there is to me a level of intolerance when you're not trying, but you're also being shitty to a person. I'll leave it at that without getting too much in the nitty gritty. But
no, let's talk. Let's give names and addresses,
dates and places. I mean, it was on Valentine's Day, and just got a really shitty message about a gift that I had gotten my girlfriend, and then she had gotten me, which, like, it was like one of those things where it wasn't the gift, but it was like kind of a hey, I know you like this. It was fucking Reese's cup she got me, right? But it wasn't the gift. It was just like, hey, here's Reese's cup for your day, right? And it was like really sweet and thoughtful, and I fucking love Reese's cups. Like, it's like I didn't get this big because I don't love Reese's cups. And so one of my friends made a really shitty comment that hurt her feelings. And what I expect out of my friends is to act like adults. When I say to you, hey, listen, here's what happened. This kind of crossed the line. If it was a joke, you got to make it more sensible than what you wrote.
Right.
Instead, what I got was a person blowing up on me, telling me that I was an asshole and that I am never there to see their kids, which is a really weird comment to make. And then proceeded to like take me off of like Instagram or something like that. So I was like, okay, well, that's how you feel. Then okay, then we can move forward that way. Because I've said this before, and it's to my own detriment, but I am not tolerant after a line has been crossed. Like I just don't believe in really coming back. It takes a lot for me to go back.
You have to really try to fix that.
And the worst part is she's tried to reach out several times, but none of those times that she's ever reached out was an apology or an acknowledgement of what it is she said or did. Instead, it's just like, hey, where do I go and grab hookah? And it's like, I'm not fucking responding to this.
Not an entryway to
at all.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes
You can't
people
dance
feel
around
like-
that shit.
And
yeah,
some
but a lot of
every
people can't own up to it. You know, they don't want to own up to it because they know
And
that so much has happened that it's almost better, easier to just like ignore it and start a new conversation like it never happened. But
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's that
I'll
falls in
never
line. I feel like
understand.
with the immaturity, like
Yeah.
you as a person, you're so immature that you don't like the conflict of admitting you're wrong and having to deal with it. So in return, you're just going to try to bypass that and be like, maybe enough time has passed and we can just act like it never happened and just
yeah,
keep on going. I'm like,
but it's
nope,
been
that's
that
fucked up.
for like 2 years. I haven't said a
Yeah.
fucking word back.
It's been longer than 2 years, my guy.
Oh yeah, it probably has.
Yeah, it's been a
And
lot
this is
longer than
this
2
is a
years.
female.
3 years. Oh my gosh, it's been 3.5 years.
This
It
is a
was way
female.
before COVID.
Yeah.
And we're
It was
what,
in
a year
2018.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
And it was a female friend.
It was a female. She was.
Yeah.
A female.
Um,
And
you
her
know,
and-
I will say females too are territorial. Like, I mean, so
She
are all
was.
friends, but specifically
Very.
females, especially with our guy friends, I mean, this is coming from me specifically, like, you know, I always try to be like, who's this girl? You know what I mean? Like, vet her out, like, you know, get a feel for her. Sometimes we say things, you know, but and respect for your friend, even if she didn't like your partner, you don't say anything to the partner. You know, you take that shit up within the friendship, you know what I mean? And say, hey, you know, like you come to that person first. You don't attack your partner or
That
say
shit
something
gets messy.
to them.
It's
It's messy, but it's also disrespectful to you. You know what I mean? Like if you have a problem, take it up with your actual friend, the person you have a connection with. You know, that's the easiest way to solve it. You're taking it up with someone who doesn't give a shit about you. That's going to
So
cause a problem.
what makes the issue so complicated, and never would I ever pose in the way of this. But what makes the issue a little bit more complicated is that she was one of my oldest friends, one of my closest friends, who is married and met my other really close, one of my best friends at the time. And so it's really like that relationship, like I was the best man at their wedding. So that relationship is super stagnant because I would never ask him to go against his wife. Like they have kids together. That's his wife. That's love of his life. And nor would he ever try to like go against her in any way. No, it's not his place, and it's just not something he would do, or I would ever ask anybody to do. That's fucking wild.
Yeah.
But
You
it
have
just
a relationship with him still? Is it strange?
it's just whatever, you know.
Yeah.
We're polite to each other. We'll send each other memes every now and then, but it's not nearly the same. Not even close.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate. And it sucks.
So all that to say, it's like when we talk about like, hey, I think a question that I should have added was like expectations of your friends towards your relationship, which is like my expectation, honestly, is, you know, you don't have to be this person's like best friend or anything.
No, be nice.
Try, be nice, have respect.
Yeah. Respect them like you're gonna respect me. You know?
There was none of that. Actually, something I heard yesterday, which is great. Respect, which this is a person I knew was talking about a situation they were in. It's like, I just want this person to respect me like I was a total stranger. Which it's like, holy shit, like that goes a long way to say.
Put it, yeah.
So that as far as balancing a relationship, like it does go on you to like try to make the best bridge possible, but it's also up to your friends, I think, to not absolutely fucking trample all over it and just be indignant in regards to that relationship.
Be respectful and try to be happy for your friend too. It is on, your friends as well. Like, I think, I've had a lot of scenarios where, I have pretty mature friends now. It hasn't always been that way. Obviously, I'm 28, 10 years ago, we were fucking 18, you know what I mean? So it's like, it hasn't always been the best responses, but I think, I had a friend recently that was like, hey, I really miss you. I miss seeing you. Do you think we could make some time for each other? And I think that was their way of saying like, hey, I haven't seen you as much since you've been in a relationship and I really miss you. That's the appropriate way to go about it.
Yeah.
That is the mature way to say, hey, because she could have taken a different approach and been like, you don't make any time for me. You suck. I've had that response too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would never say that to someone. I've seen my friends go in and out of relationships and I never say you don't make time for me or, I understand that dynamic. Not to say I don't want to feel important. I do want you to make time for me, but I'm never going to say what the fuck's happening here or approach it from an aggressive position. But I think your friends have a due diligence to respect you and be mature about it and be happy for you. That's what friends do. At the end of the day, all you want is your friend to be happy and you just want to be a part of their happiness. And if you have a problem, you approach it with a mature response. It can't come from a negative place or an aggressive place. It's just never going to work.
Yeah. And I think like the relationship brings out the real in your friends, right? Like her, for an example, I knew the situation. I knew them quite well. You got to see this person's true self, right?
Yeah.
Like a real friend in that situation would have approached that differently.
Right.
I've apologized, understood they were wrong.
Right.
Confessed to it. I mean, like shit. I mean, we talked about it in the friendship episode, right? Like when we had our falling out, immediately when I realized, like, okay, I see where I fucked up in this. Here's the confession to it.
Right.
I am sorry. Like the relationship has to mean more than what you're mad about.
Right.
For her,
you have to look at.
Exactly. For her own shit was more important than the friendship. The fact that she was throwing out you never come see my kid and all the shit, that's misplaced anger. Yeah. You're upset that your old friends don't want to hang out with you now because you have a kid and now you're taking it out on you. That has nothing to fucking do with the topic. That has nothing to do with the girl.
Which I gotta just add, I was never really invited over to hang out and do, like, it was weird as shit because it's like, you guys are like my closer friends. Of course I would. Never really got that invite ever to do those things. So it's like, I don't even know where this is coming from.
And I think the funnier thing with that whole topic was like, yo, fucking A Cotton, like you have parties at your house with your fucking kid there. You invite us to come over, then we see the kid. When the fuck else was she expecting? Was she expecting you to just hit her up and be like, yo, I want to see the kid. Like, let me come kick it with the kid. Yo, I need to fucking see the kid.
You gotta pull up in a van at full candy.
I got a van with no windows and a ton of candy in it. Put the fucking kid in the van. We're gonna take a lap.
No, what that kid be doing?
What a kid at though? We at though? Like,
what does that even?
Yeah,
that's some wild shit,
that's
man.
That's a strange situation. I think it's just something to throw out there because it's ammo.
Yeah,
it's like I've been holding all these things in. Let me just like throw this out there. To add on to the problem, the pre-existing problem.
I mean, the other thing is, like, you have a very involved father, grandfather on both ends, a very involved family. You invite your other friends over constantly. Like, it's just like, this is fucking insane. What is happening?
Yeah. Definitely misplaced, misguided. Like it made no sense. Which is
I want to add another question, then we can wrap the show up.
All right.
Just curious. How would you feel if your friend dated an ex or someone you liked? Or hooked up with someone you liked?
Nah, that's a death sentence. That's a kill shot. It's a kill shot.
All of them.
All of it's a kill shot. This is what that tells me. That tells me you don't give a fuck
about my feelings,
about me whatsoever, and you are only in this for yourself. You are taking. It's like it's like if I knew, Nabil, you hated one of my friends and then I only invited you out to hang out when that friend's around. Like,
Okay,
I don't give
Jeff,
a
fine. I hate you. There. Fuck.
Yeah.
All right. Done.
We had to air it out. This is
I
the
feel
point
so
of the show.
much better about myself. Sorry, go on.
That is like probably the worst thing you can do. I think one of them as a friend, because you also feel like, was this going on the whole time? Did you guys like kind of have a connection the whole time and I didn't know about it? I'm just standing here in the way of this happening, you know?
Because the shitty thing is, more than likely, I've talked to you about Jiz Carmouche.
One absolutely did this to Italo. Italo was engaged to a lady named.
I'm trying to
Carmouche and Ron Stoller. Go on.
Jiz Carmouche is a made-up character, ladies and gentlemen, that does not exist. That we created. That we won't even get into that. We'll save that one for the Friday night. The Friday night lock-in
on the show, and we can talk about.
We're going to do that. We'll bring that up because we're going to air that out because Jiz Carmouche loves me more. But no, so the fucked up part about this whole thing is, you're my friend. I absolutely talked to you about the problems I had with this girl or my love for this girl. Whatever it is, I've talked to you about it. You gave me advice. If it was somebody I dated and we broke up, you probably gave me advice that, you're probably making the right decision to break up with her. And then you have the fucking balls to go and now be in a relationship with this person, knowing good and goddamn. How am I supposed? Am I just supposed to be cool with y'all dating? Am I supposed to go to dinner with you all?
Whole friendship, like you're thinking back to all these times, and you're like, what? And knock on wood, that has never happened to me, and I pray to God it will not happen. I had this conversation actually with a previous partner, and I thought it was so strange, their take on it, because they were like, if those two people have a connection, then then who am I to stand in the way of that? You know what I mean?
100% agree with that.
But it doesn't mean you're friends with them anymore.
Exactly. Like, I ain't got to fuck with you though.
Right, and I agree, but that wasn't the take they had. They were like, I mean, I would forgive them. Like, it would be fine.
Nope.
So I was like, so if your best friend started dating me, it would be okay. And they were like, if that's what you guys wanted. And I was like,
no, fuck that. Fuck
you know what I mean?
all that.
I'd be like pissed. I'd be like, absolutely not. Like,
I'm happy. I'm happy you're happy. I'm happy you found someone. I'm happy my ex found somebody. But me and you and this friendship, we're done because I cannot trust you now. Like, I can't look to you as like, we're still tight because fuck off. Like, you don't give a fuck about. Now every time I talk to you, you're gonna come to me with problems about my ex that you are now fucking dating. Fuck off. Like, no.
It totally has happened to me, which totally
shit.
This girl that I just was so head over heels for. Friend knew about it. He slept with her anyway. Yeah, I later then realized like this person is, I mean, both of them are.
Both parties can't be very clean people.
Are quite broken human beings. I mean, this person's not a friend of mine anymore. The other person, obviously, I'm not associated with. So it's happened. It sucks, which is why I ask. I'm always curious. It's like, is this like a normal feeling to people to just be like, yeah, I'll sleep with someone my friend likes or dated? And because I could never, because of how I felt when that happened, there is no fucking way I could ever do that. Like, it's just, even if my friend said, yeah, man, it's totally cool, it's not with me. Like, that just, it also is a
I don't have the moral. I just couldn't. I couldn't do it. I think I value my friendships too much, and
so let me ask this: Is there a timeline on that? I'm curious. Has it ever become okay?
So this is where it gets kind of sticky, right? Because I think if it's like a person from high school or like college, we'll probably be okay with it. Now, for me personally, and I can't speak for you guys, but I've only had like really 3, and I'm in the 3rd like serious relationship in my life. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I feel like if one of my friends went for like my 6.5-year relationship, it's still a no for me. You know what I mean? Like, I'd still be annoyed about it, but like a few years from now, I don't know how I'd feel about it. You know, and it's not even like, obviously I'm way past those relationships, but it's almost like that's a respect thing. Like, I've spent, you know, so much time with that person you know, but then again, like if in a few years, you know, I'm married, have kids, whatever, it's almost like that's like, I'm already totally moved on with my life, you know?
Yeah. I think the baggage that entails that relationship or everything that encompasses that relationship is a factor. So like, I mean, if it was an amicable breakup, we just was like, hey, listen, this isn't going to work, yada.
Right.
And some time had passed, I moved on or whatever, cool. And somebody's there like, yeah, fuck it, I don't give a shit. Right.
Which is
like,
honest, yeah. I mean, I agree. I think it also like, it has less to do with my previous partners. Like if one of my friends were to date them, it has more to do with the relationship, my friends, like the trust.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't really have to do with my ex because eventually my ex is dating people. It is what it is. That's life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's who you choose to date, you know, and that's a relationship between you and your friend, right?
Yeah, no, 100%. I get
but
that.
I think time is definitely a factor too. If it's like 20 years ago, it's like who the fuck gives a shit?
Like I've never even thought about this, but yeah,
right.
Like it's cool.
So it's it's long gone, you know.
Yeah.
How about you, Nabil? What do you think?
I have no thoughts.
Yeah.
News break.
No, I don't know. If it's been several years and it's like if it was one of my like really close friends and me and this other person feel strongly about each other, I don't know. I would probably just block one on everything and then just live.
You just hide. You have like a totally secret life.
Yeah. No, I can't ever imagine this happening, but like I think the smart way to go about something like that is to have a very adult conversation.
Yeah.
Where if your friend is okay with it,
right,
then okay, I can see that being a plausible road to go down. If your friend's not okay with it, then all right, well then you also have to not be okay with it.
I mean,
or
yeah,
you're
but
really
I also
weighing the risk on whether that friendship means something to you.
Right, exactly. And when you have that conversation, you're opening the door of, you know, now your friend is coming to you with, hey, I have feelings for your ex. It's just like, it's like a bad taste in your mouth. Even if
it's
you
really
like,
weird.
Hey, it's okay. Even if you tell them like you're okay with it and they're like, or you're not okay with it and they're like, okay, I won't go for it. You're still like, the fact that you had that thought that this would be a good conversation for us to have hurts me. Because in my mind, I would never have that conversation with you. I would say, absolutely not. At this point, it's just a little flirtatious thing. I'm going to ditch it before it turns into something big. You know what I mean? You make that conscious choice, right? So I think it just comes down to being, you know, I mean, in all honesty, a good friend. You know? Now, would you date, and this is in the same category, would you date your ex-partner's friend?
Oh, I think that's totally fair game.
Yeah. Because
I couldn't date my friends' exes. Like honestly, we just said that. Like, and I'm even thinking about like there is probably no amount of time that I could
doesn't affect you.
It's like, but my ex's friends, oh, you should have never.
I'm an asshole in the sense of like I'm thinking about like this ain't a me problem. This is between you, my darling, and my ex. Like y'all fuck with that. Like that's on y'all. But me and her, we good. We good. I ain't got shit to do with that.
Well, invite you to the Christmas party.
I can do it, but
exactly. Yeah, you can invite her over the house. I'm kissing in front of her.
Come on over for 4th of July.
I don't give a shit. Like,
I couldn't do it. I really couldn't do it.
You couldn't date your ex's friends? Wow, look at you. Good for you.
You know, well, especially the people that I've dated like thus far. It's like I said, I'm in like the 3rd serious relationship, 28. I feel like looking back on those relationships, like we had pretty good breakups, you know, decent breakups. I still consider them like friends to a certain capacity.
Right.
So I don't think that I would want to hurt them in that way. Because I feel like if it was me, I'd be pissed and I'd be hurt. Right. So it's like if I try to like put myself in that person's shoes.
Yeah. I think I'm only friends with one of my exes. Like I only talk to one of my exes still today. And she's cool enough. Like I probably wouldn't date any of her friends. Also because I just don't know them.
Right.
But like
if it's an ex that fucks you over, that's a totally different scenario.
Yeah, if it actually fucks me over.
You know, but if you broke up and they're still kind of like you guys are friendly, somewhat friendly, I don't think it's like I feel like it's just like not appropriate. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get that. 100%.
Well, that kind of maybe just puts a little
just a little bit.
Tiny
that
bow.
Is that tied up?
I have no idea. Okay, that's where we're going.
Tied up the bow on our 3-part series.
You twist it.
Hold on, you got
You
it.
twist it. Double knot.
Double
Double
knot.
knot. Yeah. Thank you for security purposes. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
And then
It looks like,
Yeah.
wow, really nice bow.
get the fuck out of here. That puts kind of a wrap on our 3-part series.
It's our first 3-part series.
Been really fun.
We crushed that.
I hated
loved it.
this.
We crushed it.
Um,
We crushed it. We crushed it.
any
So-
final thoughts?
On the whole thing, I mean, here's the reality of it, man. Your friends are everything. Don't forget them. Your relationships are important. Invest the time into it, and like bring it together. You know, you got to figure out how to bring that shit together. And if you can balance it, shit ain't easy. But if you can, that's how you make it work. That's how you have all of your dreams come true. You can have your cake and you can eat it too. If you can balance the shit out.
That's Island One talking. No, you
I
can't.
think, yeah, I mean, it's,
That's Island
I
One
think-
talking. Here's
I
the
think-
thing. Here's the thing. You gotta fuck bitches, get money, and you never trust a big button to smile. All right, that's all there is to it.
and
'Cause
share
that
under.
girl's poison.
Yeah. I think overall, I think the takeaway for me personally is if it's the right relationship, it's going to work.
I agree.
That's it. It's as simple as that. If you're with the right person, it's all just kind of, not to say there's not going to be problems, but with your friends and with your relationship, it's just going to work. It's going to make sense.
Which
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
brings me to my next thought. Jess,
Mhm.
thanks for being with us on
Yeah.
It was
I
fun.
loved it.
I know we were
I
super
have
excited
loved
about it. I know we were super excited about it, and honestly, you kind of failed most of the way through. But honestly, like I had a great time. I learned nothing.
I hate that.
Juan, no. You got to let me
sorry.
do this, okay? I learned nothing from you. You were sassy. You disrespected my friends the entire time. No, you were great.
You have friends?
You disrespected Juan's friends the entire time.
Fair.
Okay.
It's fair.
I am one of one's friends, so I guess I fucking diss myself too.
You disrespected
Little bit.
yourself. Yeah,
Yeah.
bit.
I do that quite often, to be honest with you.
Um, I loved having you.
It was
Um,
great.
I
I
you.
loved it, guys. It was so much
Um,
fun.
This
Thank you
year,
for
huge
having
hit.
me.
And
Thank you for
and
bringing
we,
your perspective and your input.
I love it.
dude,
I thought
stop
it was very
hyping,
valuable.
stop hyping her up.
Yeah.
Stop hyping her
I'll
up.
have my own spin
Out
on
of
it.
all of us, you're the second
Yeah.
prettiest person. One's obviously the last, I'm first. So
Yeah.
I also appreciate that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a little offensive. But Jess is going to have her own spinoff. She's going to do her own show. News break. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I think I should. I'm not in Jess's corner.
It'll
I'll have
be
Mary
Jess's
on the
corner.
show. Mary will be on it with me.
Hell yeah.
Murray,
And we'll
Murray.
talk about,
Murray.
girls doing girl stuff, whatever that
we're
is.
going to call it the weekly conversation, a daily
Yeah,
podcast.
A daily
the
podcast.
weekly conversation. Girls doing
I think
girl-
that would be, I ain't gonna lie, I think that would be pretty dope. Like if we have an episode, like let's say Nabil can't make it or I can't make it, and we just give it to Jess.
take
to have,
over.
just have a Jess show.
Absolutely.
Jess-
I love it. Sign me up. I'll have Mary will be my guest host.
Yeah.
Never
run it.
learned if Jess was short for Jessica or not, but
Mind
anyway.
blowing. We'd have a hell of a show. So,
we would have a
like-
hell of a show.
ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna give you all a breakdown of how these things work, right?
Okay.
So we've just wrapped up our 3-part episode on relationships. Next week, we're doing IT sales industry. We had a lot of friends to talk about, why we're in it, what brought us to it, yada, yada, yada. We're going to have a guest on that episode. Our boy, the Sada God himself, Atalo, is going to join us. He works
Oh.
at Sada as well, hence the name Sada God with Nabil. And we're gonna walk through that for those who give a shit and want to know why are we in it? What got us to this point? How did we break into the IT industry?
How did Italo and I fall in love?
How did Atalo make out with Nabil in a closet at kickoff? Like, we're gonna
During
talk through all
all
of that.
And share underwear, probably.
Share a lot of underwear live on the show. That episode will also be our movie review.
Oh, is it?
Nabil will be watching
Woo!
Sandlot.
Sandlot,
And
baby.
Your boy will be getting depressed watching 12 Years a Slave.
Yeah.
So
It's gonna be great though.
super excited about that. But we'll go through that. The episode after that is going to be super exciting. What, Nabil? What?
Can I ask a question on this one that is totally impromptu?
Go ahead.
Can we do the show at your place?
You want to do it you want to come to my place and do the IT show at my place?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck it, why not?
Yeah, well, I originally when we were doing this, I thought I was going over to Juan's.
You're not going over to
Go
Juan.
and sit with
You're not allowed to
Juan.
go. You're not going to Juan's place. You're staying at home.
Well,
Okay?
I'm not in the next
Don't
episode.
infringe
so-
upon my man's.
Well,
Well, I live closer to him than you do. So.
facts.
Yeah.
Facts. She can
What does
walk
that
if
say
she
about
wanted
me
to.
if I'm willing to drive further than you are?
Jess is still closer because she lives closer.
Yeah,
She's more
yeah.
important.
Yeah.
Confuse the boy. is
Anywho,
mine.
the episode after that is gonna be episode 9, which is probably
Revenge
the most excited I'll ever be for an episode. It is Gender Wars. This will be Nabil and myself, Jess, and a special guest.
Yeah.
That she will pick to bring. That will be a female.
Yeah.
That will come on. And ladies and gentlemen, we are going to ask all the questions that we've been meaning to ask and make the opposite sex explain themselves. You know, throwing out there like, why in the hell, do women, fucking get all this face work done that we can clearly see is fake? Like, like
Yeah.
why do you fucking get the
I
the
can't even
lips
answer that. I
out
don't
here and
know.
the fuck, all that. We want to know. We want to know why you spend 8 hours fucking getting ready and you wait 30 minutes before the time we got to leave to start getting ready.
Like, why do you
know
when I come over? Like,
We're
all
on a
that
schedule.
I
junk.
can answer that one real quick.
Like,
we're
I
on a
mean,
schedule and you wait till the last second. Anyway,
how come you don't cook for me? Like
that's
all
I'm
this.
saying.
Let me just tell you, we played this card game in Puerto Rico. Well, it's Juan's card game, and we have played before, and I've also lost before. I started late in the game. Late in the game. I got all the cards. In a matter of like 12 minutes, I was out.
It was
It's
the
like you
fastest
give-
loss
you
I've
give-
ever seen in history.
It honestly is. You give these cards to, a person who is most deserving. They're not nice cards. And one of them was like most likely to be like 20 minutes late or something like that. And I was absolutely, that's
clearly
me.
does. Clearly does.
Clearly me, but
If Nabil was there, I would have given that card to
It would have
Nabil.
been
Because
mine.
Nabil, here's how we have to actually treat Nabil with things. I have to make fun of Nabil and stress to him before the thing event. It's like, how about you show up on time to this thing because it's kind of a big deal. Because Nabil's ass will show. We've had barbecues, Jess, pool barbecues where somebody is grilling.
No.
That Nabil will show up an hour and a half late to. The food is cooked. We're done eating and show up with fajita meat. And like, can y'all grill this thing? We're done.
Oh my
We've
God.
eaten already. And Nabil
Well,
will
that's
make
pretty
the
bad.
person go start the grill to cook his shit. He'll eat a taco and be done. Be like, thanks for grilling. Fuck off.
That
Nabil
is
would have got that card for sure.
way worse than me. Yeah.
Way worse. He is the worst at this shit. He's laughing and has nothing to say about it because he knows it's true.
So not true, but I
You
get
piece of shit.
All
Lying
things
ass.
we'll talk about on Gender Wars.
All things we'll bring up on Gender Wars.
Yes.
After Gender Wars, it's the 10th episode. We mentioned it. Friend episode. If y'all forgot what that is like and what that means, on that episode, we will ask everybody who joins live to throw their email address in the chat. We will randomly, every 15 minutes, bring a random person onto the show to just either shit on this person or give them the runway to just say whatever they want. And then we shit on them after that. It's going to be fantastic. We will then randomly select a winner to take home a customized tumbler from Carl Customs Creations. It's gonna be
You're
awesome.
gonna be appreciated as a fan.
You're gonna be the most appreciated fan. After that, we got episode 11. We're nerding out. It's video games. We're just gonna be nerd. We're
Jess
geeking
is
out on
definitely
this
gonna be
one.
on that one.
Jess is for sure joining us on that. And then we're gonna talk about the holidays. We're gonna have a whole holiday episode. We just talk about what it means to us and all that fun
Talk
stuff.
about it like it's the holla yay.
Holiday.
Yay. That's it for the rest of us, baby.
And then what we haven't told y'all yet is we are going to make this show into seasons because trying to do a continuous show every freaking Wednesday for the rest of our lives is exhausting. So we will end with 13 episodes. That 13th episode will be sports talk. We will take a good 3 or 4 week break. We haven't figured it out yet. And then we'll come back with season 2. And we'll get fresher with the ideas and have some great shit and ramp the show up a lot more because I'm already working on episodes.
It
So
keeps
just
it
like, let
going,
me just
you
go
know?
ahead and say, we have a fan appreciation, right, thing, but we also have a fan banning where we will ban you from the show, and that's probably Mary.
Yeah, Mary goes. Just kidding.
And
We got to bring Mary on an
Mary,
episode.
I
We got to
believe
figure
Molly-
out what episode we want to bring Mary on. But we
I
need Mary on.
fucking
Bring her
love
on the
Molly.
gender wars. She can come to gender wars.
I don't want to hear Mary.
Do
talk
we want to
about
make?
that.
We
don't
should bring.
need-
I think we should bring Mary. Mary, message us if you want to be Jess's counter puncher.
Mary, blink twice if you want to be on there.
I don't
She
see her
can send me a
blinking.
photo of her blinking twice.
She blinked once and once again, so it's no. So all right.
That's
Nice.
great. But ladies and gentlemen, that's the rundown of what we got going on. So we are currently sitting here at episode 7. We're gonna rock the thing 13 and take a little break and rock out from there. This is I look forward to this, and I really do hope that you all have enjoyed this. By the viewers that we have every week, we're holding pretty consistent, so I'm assuming y'all love this shit as well, and we're just doing it for y'all. If we say it every week, and I'm going to continue to keep saying it, if y'all have any topics that y'all want us to run through, to talk about, whatever it is, shoot it over in the message, shoot it over in the text, however you all know us some kind of way, hit it up on our IG page, whatever it is, please let us know, because we would love to get some ideas instead of just hitting y'all with the random shit that we think about, because we think about a lot of random shit. And these shows are going to start getting weird. So if you don't want it to get weird, just shit it over, you know. Jess, how do you want to leave the people? Give us something to go on.
Well, I'm excited about gender wars. Can't wait to see
Yeah.
see what happens there. All the arguments that starts. Pretty excited for that. But to leave the people tonight, thanks for joining. Appreciate your time, your effort. What was the thing I tried to say last time? Good night. Good morning, good evening, good morning, what is it? God damn it.
Morning.
Yeah, what is it? Good morning,
Good afternoon.
good night. Good night.
Good evening.
No, that doesn't sound right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Good morning, good afternoon, good night.
I'm going to need you to practice your exiting call
I
sign
gotta have
here.
some sort of send off
If
here.
you're-
It's not working.
If you're going to have
It's actually good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Okay, I knew it was good night.
it,
Good evening is in
Nabil,
there too, but
Good
doesn't
evening.
end with good evening.
No shit.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. That's my
unbelievable. Nabil, how do you want to leave the people, man?
Fucking I love you guys. Thank you guys for joining us on this 3-part series. I know I was pretty fucking useless. I just noticed your hat one, and that thing's fantastic.
You like that?
I love that actually.
passion. Look it up.
I appreciate you guys joining us on this journey. It was a fun one. Jess, again, thank you. Juan, yeah. And totally kidding, man.
Wow.
Honestly, the true production team, I say it almost every episode, is Juan. This is like all of like Juan coming up with a lot of these questions, coming up with these story ideas. And really we're just like piggybacking off of him. So thanks, dude. You're fucking awesome at this shit.
Appreciate it, man.
Despite you wearing a Hawaiian shirt going out. So yeah.
Hawaiian shirt. It's just a turquoise.
No, when we go out. No, that's
sound like a hater because you can't rock a fucking
turquoise isn't your color. So yeah, go ahead, and I'm excited for next week too. So
unbelievable, guys. But
Excited for your next week. I'll be
again,
telling
this show would be nothing without the fan base. I greatly appreciate all of you who kick it and hang it with us. Jess, you're the best in the biz. Nabil, you're average at best. And you know how we end this thing every week, guys. You know, people that you come across in your life, most of them will probably be a waste of your time, to be honest with you. But in that, some of them will be worth your time. And at the end of the day, every single person is worth figuring that out. Treat people with love. We're out. Till next week. One love.
Cub Scout.
We out of here.